Welcome back. So last time we talked about floats and ints, which are numbers. The difference being a float has a decimal and an integer does not. And we talked about strings, which are collections of characters. Typically, we'll use them to store words, sentences, things like that. And I told you on this video we'd be talking about booleans. And this is a odd name that you probably haven't heard before, but Boolean just means true or false. So at some point, we're going to have to get out of going line 1, line 2, line 4, 5, 7, 8. We want to be able to add some logic. And in order to add logic, we have to be able to make decisions. And true false lets us be able to make decisions. So, for example, right now, I say, what is your favorite number? Let's try something in here. I'm still going to ask for a number, but I'm going to get rid of some of this other stuff. Let's go ahead, get rid of that. And we're going to go a different direction with this. So I still have the user enters a number, and I convert that to an int. So that's turning it into a number without a decimal. And I'm going to see if the user likes the same number that I like. So I'm going to use a new statement called if, and I'm just going to compare that number. So right now, the user gives me num_1, and I'm going to test it and see if it is the same as the number that I like. So I'm going to use two equal signs, and I'm just going to put a 3 there. So notice up here, I have one equal sign, and that puts whatever is on the right side of the equal sign into my variable num1. I did the same thing up here whenever I took the user input and put it into num1. Well, now I have two equal signs, and that means that we're asking a question. Is num1 the same as number 3? Now, on the other hand, maybe I want to make sure that they don't like 3. Well, that's going to give me not. So we call it a bang, but it's just an exclamation point with the equal sign. So this is saying is num1 not equal to 3? So any other number would work fine. But we're going to keep things simple here. So I'm going to come in, and if they like 3, I'm going to just say I like 3 too. And we're going to run it and make sure that everything's good. And I'm going to put in here when it asks, what is your favorite number? I'll say 3. And it says, I like 3 too. Let's try it the other way. So now I say 5. Well, it doesn't reply with anything because 5 is not equal to 3. I'm going to put some other things up here so we can see. I'm going to put them in comments. So exclamation point equals sign as not equal. Equal. Now I also have, if we go back to 7th grade math, have greater than, I have less than, and then I also have, I'll put my comment sign there. So the pound sign starts a comment, as we know. I also have greater than or equal. So if it's equal, it's good. If it's greater than, it's good. So And then I also have the less than or equal. So each one of these is going to give me a true or a false. And in Python has words that we can't use. Python wants to use it for its own thing, which is understandable. So true is what we call a reserved word or a keyword in Python, and it always means this is true. So for example, if I type in 3 and num1 is 3, well, 3 equals 3, so it's going to say, yes, that's true. So I'm saying if this is true, I want you to print, I like 3 too. Now, we could also have, I'm going to comment this out, we can also have false, which means not true. So, for example, I put 5 in here. Well, 5 is not equal to 3, so that would be false. So it said, if it's true, well, it's not true, it's false, and that's why it didn't print I like 3 too. So Boolean values can only be true or false. So we can try some of these others. So I can say that your number is greater than 3 because whatever you type in, if it's greater than 3, then that would be true. So I'm going to run it again. I'm going to put 2, and it doesn't print anything because 2 is not greater than 3. Put 5. Well, that's correct. 5 is greater than 3. And now I'm going to try 3 just to make sure. So now we've used true and false, and we've used comparisons. So we call these comparison operators. So we've used the comparison operators. We used not equal. We used equal. We use greater than. So each one of these is there. So we can use these for our if statements. Now, moving forward, we're going to have some other things that we can use with true and false to make our logic a little more robust. And we're going to add a few things to the if statement so that we can handle more than one situation at a time. So I look forward to talking to you then. See you soon.